Hey guys, it's Alicia. Welcome to day one of our cross-country trip from Virginia to Montana and Idaho. I thought I would just show you a little bit of the footage that we took as we were driving cross-country, and I also thought I would show you the campgrounds that we stayed in. So let's get started with day one. And here we are at our first campsite, which is in Crawfordsville, Indiana, and it is the Crawfordsville KOA. Now, we tend to kind of gravitate towards the KOAs because they're just good campgrounds in general. You kind of know what you're going to get. They're very similar to each other, and so that's what we like to stay in. And we have stayed in this one. I think this was our third time staying at this particular campground. We did this same trip twice before, the two previous summers, and last year we took our trailer and stayed in this campground on the way over, way back. The year before we stayed in motels because we did not have our trailer. But this campground is a decent one, and I'm gonna walk through here and show you what it looks like. And I will also give you some information. Right there is a playground. It has a pretty nice playground. The mosquitoes are out on this particular day, so the kiddos weren't over there for very long, but nice little playground. As far as the campsite itself, obviously there are RV sites. There are also tent sites, camping cabins, which are one-room cabins. You can get full hookups here as far as electricity, water, and sewer. There is a dumping station though if you don't get a site with sewer. The maximum length pull-through is 65 feet, and there is a 50 amp service available. And as you can see as I'm walking through here, the sites themselves I think are pretty decently sized. They're nice and long, most of them, so if you've got a longer trailer. And not only that, they're not super close to each other. I have been in some where they're so close to each other you can barely put your slide out, which we did encounter one KOA on this trip that was like that. So as far as how close you are to your neighbors, it's not super close or tight in this campground, which is pretty nice. Here I'm coming up to the office building, and this is also where the laundry game room and store is. Also the bathrooms, which are right here. These aren't the worst or the best bathrooms I've ever seen. As you can see, once I walk in here, there are the sinks, the toilets, and down here on the end are 3 showers. And they're not the best showers, but they're also not the worst. So not a bad bathroom all in all, as far as I was concerned. And then out here is the pool. Also not a bad little pool. My kiddos have used this, I think, every time that we've been here, and they always enjoy it. So always nice to have a campground with a pool when it is hot out, which it definitely was. I should also add that there was Wi-Fi, but it did not work all that great. Although that seems to be kind of a common theme when you're talking about campgrounds or hotels. The Wi-Fi doesn't usually work all that great because there's so many people using it. But I had probably the worst time with the Wi-Fi at this particular KOA than I did any of the other ones. So here is the front of the office, and in there, obviously you register, and there's a store. You can also buy firewood here too if you want to do a fire. Now for us, since we were going cross country, this was just an overnight stay, but to give you an idea of what area attractions there are within a 45-minute range, there is the Indy 500, the Brickyard 400, the Children's Museum, which we have been to, and it's really neat, the Museum of Art, and a zoo. And then over here is the pet area. They provide you with bags to pick up after your pets, and it's a nice little area. And then down below here is kind of a cute little covered bridge area. But again, the mosquitoes were hardcore this day, so we did not stay out too long. All in all, this is a nice little campground. It's not super crowded. The sites themselves are not super close to each other. And I also want to add that the staff has always been super, super friendly and very helpful. So that's always a nice thing to encounter too, because you don't always encounter that. And I also want to give credit to the maintenance guy that works here, because our trip last year, when we were pulling the trailer for the very first time, this first day of our trip last year, the fridge we discovered was basically falling out. They had not secured it properly, and as it was going down the road, it was basically working itself basically down to the floor, and it was about to fall out. So the maintenance guy here is the one that actually put in some 2x4s underneath it for us and got it secured, and he's the reason we were able to make it cross country with our fridge not falling out. So we really, really appreciated that, and like I said, they are very helpful and very friendly here. If you are looking for a campground in Crawfordsville, Indiana to stay at, I would recommend this one. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and day 1 of our trip. I will see you for the next one soon.